Hi guys, it's Abby with More City Nerds. Welcome to all new subscribers. You guys, we're going to cover episodes 4 and 5. 4 is just going to be like a really quick recap, and then 5 we'll get into. I am loving Secret Invasion. If you're new here, welcome. Hi, thank you for stopping by. Please hit the like, it really helps me out a lot, or leave a comment. It really helps me out, and let me know what you think. I was totally wrong about Talos becoming the bad guy, that's for sure, but my favorite part of the MCU is the little pocket where it's real, quote unquote. And I mean, we have super soldiers and things like that. If you're over here, you already know, you can skip ahead like 20 seconds or something. I love this little Manchurian candidate, assassin, spy corner. This is my favorite part of the MCU. So I'm loving this. And anybody that says this is slow, no, this is definitely not slow. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. Another thing that I'm really loving is we really got away, and Disney was trying to be squeaky clean from guns and humans and other people being the bad guys. I know there's Skrulls here, but we got away from that, and they tried to be really squeaky clean with it. And it's like, not only is that in the comics, but it's like, people are a threat. People are a threat, and so I'm loving that they're getting back to that. I'm loving the level of violence we're at, but in episode 4, we get a lot with Rhodey, we get a lot with Gravik, but we get a huge crash. We're taking the president, scene, shootout, craziness, and I was here for all of that. That was so cool, and I thought, my biggest issue is, do not bring Maria Hill back. That will take away so much impact, and I was already saying Gaia shouldn't come back, but by taking away Talos officially, and bringing Gaia in, I'm okay with that. I love Emilia Clarke. I'm just like, okay, so we got rid of these characters of Maria Hill and Talos to bring her in to be your buddy now, right, Samuel Jackson? But I don't mind that. I'm just saying, if they bring back Maria Hill, it will really affect, I think, the impact of this series. I think this series is the best since Loki. And Brad, I'm sorry that I haven't texted you back. My screen on my phone is obliterated, and I'm loving it too. I'm loving it. Big things from 4 were Talos' death, because I thought they might make him the bad guy if they offed Gaia and he would snap. Because I said this in my first review. I'm like, I'm pretty sure the word Gaia means Earth. It means the Earth specifically. So I'm like, she can't stay bad. And it's Daenerys Targaryen. There's no way you're keeping her bad. Episode 5. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. And I always love when somebody's like one step away calmly of the police. And when Fury's doing that, oh my god, it's so cool. I love it. But we got big stuff in episode 5. First and foremost, Gravik slitting a throat in front of everybody. Like I said with the violence, we're stepping it up and I'm here for it. Him getting a bag shoved over his head. What are you doing? What? 1, crazy to show. 2, why is that the means that we're choosing to assassinate this man? I just feel like that's a terribly long and rough way to go, and also, don't you guys have access to firearms? What's going on here? But they try to stage a coup against Gravik. It doesn't work, and they lose. They lose hard. Like, I just slit a throat in front of everybody, because that's what Gravik does with Rhodey, and Skrull Rhodey. He's like, hey, what we're going to do is sacrifice everybody in this compound, and you're going to tell the president to blow it up, and it will give the Skrulls motivation to go against the humans, and it will show them, oh, look at, they're big and bad. It's like that in a lot of different things. A lot of people didn't watch this, but in the Fantastic Beasts series, Grindelwald does that, and he's like, let them strike first. Let them look bad first, and then we can retaliate with not doing anything, and then we can do something when we really want to get it going. So he's trying to give them motivation, and even Rhodey Skrull is like, no. And Mom and I really hope that Rhodey wasn't a Skrull the entire time, because that would really take away from the character. But I really want to comment on Don Cheadle and Sam Jackson, man. I hope they get nominated for awards for this. Them on screen together is absolutely captivating. Fury going to the hideout that they were at before, and I said that in the first episode when we saw, or whatever episode we saw the flashback, and I was like, there's got to be some significance with this painting, right? Because we're in Europe. So what's going on here? So I really liked him talking about that to Gaia and saying that, and I liked having a message there of people today might be treated a certain kind of way, and maybe that's why fighting and struggling has made them feel a certain kind of way towards whatever it is, and I really am loving it. Or you can just enjoy it for the comic story, and it's great. The back and forth between Emilia Clarke and Sam Jackson in that, and talking about the significance of that painting, and talking about where they were and where they stood, and he says, I feel a lot of strength when I'm here, and I really loved that. Now, Nick Fury's wife, in episode 4, they go to both shoot each other, and they both don't do it. I love her performance, too. She's great. We were worried, though, because we didn't know if Sam Jackson knew that she was a Skrull, or did he not know, or was she going to turn on him, or was she just pretending to turn on him and then getting information? So we do see there's a genuine love there, and I man, her back and forth in episode 5 with Emilia Clarke, so good. And when she said, I knew if I wanted to keep him at all, I needed 3 things. And when Emilia Clarke said leather, that was funny. But when she said it's security, like seclusion, something along those lines, but then says light. And I was like, yeah, because Nick Fury is constantly working in the shadows. So to have him have this big, open, airy, well-lit with natural light place was a nice touch. And I really, really liked that. And another thing, because I said it to my mom when we rewatched it today, I was like, is it crazy that I feel similar to this woman? Let's say there's a zombie apocalypse or the end comes or whatever. Part of me is like, yeah, I'd want to dip out and stick to the plan we have if something ever took place. But a bigger part of me is like, I think I'd want to make my stand here. I really do. I think I might want to make my stand in my home that I love, that I care about, and it might go down. I might die doing that, but I really loved her explanation for that, where she was like, I ain't about to be crawling in no alley. I ain't about to be walking and looking over my shoulder. I ain't about to be doing that. I will make my fight right here in this house where I had a life, where I was loved, where I cared. And even when Emilia Clarke tries to be a smart ass, or not a smart ass, she does make a point. She's like, has he ever looked at you in your natural skin? And then she's like, you don't know nothing. You don't know nothing about this fight, about what it means, about this struggle, about the relationship, about building something with somebody. Like, she said so much with the dialogue. She said a lot more than what the words were. And the actress gave a great performance, loved it. And then we get the SWAT team or whatever they are coming in, the military coming in, and them putting up that fight and that choreography was so cool. And it was even cooler seeing, well, Gaia does have powers and she is a Skrull, but seeing a correctly aged woman, Nick Fury's wife, and Emilia Clarke, who's like still pretty human, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying here. Like, I know there's the super soldier serum, I know there's Skrulls, but for the most part, it's like real. And seeing these 2 women back to back, lighting up shotguns and shit was so cool. It was awesome. I loved it, and I loved her defending her home. Prior to that, we have them doing the Skrull ceremony for a funeral, and I loved that too. And I really liked the line Gaia had to Fury when she said, he's dead, stop right there. You're done, you don't need to talk anymore. Exactly that, bing bang boom, he's dead, he's gone. And it's a big impact. I liked that. But having his funeral, her and Fury's wife, loved it. We get to Scandinavia, is that where they were? They landed in Finland or something, and I said that, I go, how many tombstones does Nick Fury have? But he's working with that woman who's like, I'll obliterate every Skrull. And earlier in the episode, she just walks into somebody's office and lights them up. And I was like, I like this woman. And once again, it's nice seeing Sam Jackson in his 70s, these women who are aged correctly and they're not 30 playing somebody who's 55 or 60. You know what I'm saying? Like, seeing these older women be able to do these awesome roles in Marvel is so cool. And I think it's really cool for my mom to see, because we were talking about that today. I was like, how awesome is it to see these actresses doing this stuff? And she was like, oh, I love it. She appreciated it so much. And that happens to women a lot, is the second you turn 40, you're old. And they have a 25-year-old playing somebody who's supposed to be a 40-year-old mom. And that's really common to happen. Or you'll see like a 50-year-old actor working across from a 30-year-old actress for a relationship a lot of the time. And that happens to actresses, and it's not right. They're not correctly aged for the role, because of a studio going, nobody will want to see her doing it. But seeing these badass older women hold their own is so cool. And I just really wanted to rant about that for a minute. Not to take anything away from Emilia Clarke. She always kills it. I love her. But when we have Fury going through TSA, and I said that, I go, that's got to be him, right? With something on, with makeup on or something. And I forgot about the Black Widow masks, and I liked that it was called the Black Widow prototype or something. He was like, no, the Black Widow does this, but the new version, you should see what that does. So he gets through into the country. She picks him up. And why can't I think of her name right now? I know it. Sonya's her name. Sonya picks him up, and I loved when she turned on like hip hop, and he was like, is this what we're doing? And she's like, yeah, but doesn't say like, she doesn't act weird about it. You know what I'm saying? No, I was listening to this before you got here, and I'm going to continue to listen to it whether or not you're in my car. And it was a cool back and forth. I liked it. But we find out about the harvest, and it's all of this DNA that was collected after the battle for Earth in Endgame. And so Fury hid it in the one place he knew would be safe, and that was in his tombstone. Loved him and Sonya's back and forth at the tombstone, and she's like, how many of these you got? Because that's what I was saying. I'm like, dear God. But when he explained why, I was like, oh, I love this. This is so cool. And then when he goes in the mausoleum, and for the first time since Winter Soldier, we have Nick Fury And I loved this juxtaposition because when you're in a graveyard, that's symbolic of something. Not only because it's Nick Fury and he's a spy, but that is symbolic of something. And like I said in my Dead City review, comparing it to the Hound in the Game of Thrones books, if you've read the books, there's a portion where we haven't got there yet, but anyway, we all know. And it's the Hound is dead, but Sandor Clegane, the man, is alive. And so it's like that part of him died, and this part of him but he's still alive. So with Nick Fury, it is that part of my life where I had to hide, and the PTSD from the blip and all of this stuff and what happened in Winter Soldier and past, that part of me is dead. The old Nick Fury's back. The one that was second guessing himself and wasn't on the ball and took his eye off the ball, that one's dead now. This one's back. And opening up the mausoleum, because that's what I said, I was like, are we gonna pull a Sarah Connor here? Like, is he gonna open these and have a bunch of guns? But then the first one was the vial with all the DNA. The next one he opened up was his coat, and then I was like, oh my god, he's gonna put his eye patch back on. He's gonna put his eye patch back on. And then he put his eye patch back on, and so he had the coat, then he had the eye patch, then he put a different hat on, and then he gets his gun, he gets his 9mm, and he puts that on his hip, and then at the end of the episode with him walking out and seeing that silhouette is back. Nick Fury is back. Fury's ready. Let's go. Eye on the prize. We got this. I loved it. I am so excited for this finale. Tell me what you thought about it. I'm sorry that this was so rushed, and I'm sorry that I waited, but I have Barbie. That should be up tomorrow, and me and Mom are going to go see Oppenheimer tomorrow, and that should be up by Monday, so those reviews will be up. But we got trailers dropping right now that I need to react to. We're Interview with the Vampire and stuff. So I'm sorry that this is quick, but I think I got out everything I wanted to say. But this series, I truly believe, is the best one they've done since Loki. I love this. I'm biased because I love this little corner, but I think this is really, really good. And yeah, I'm Abby with Motor City Nerds. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. It really helps me out in the algorithm. It's free to like the video. It's free to dislike it. It's free to leave a comment. And it really, really, really does help me out. I'm on OF. I'm on TikTok. I'm on all the stuff down below. Oh, and I still have to finish Final Fantasy 16. I'm loving that. I'm absolutely loving it.